Okay, friends, this is Teacher Shanna, and I'm going to be reading a book called Planet Earth to celebrate Earth Day. And today's date is April 22nd, 2020. Planet Earth by Leonie Pratt, designed by Wray. Illustrations by Tudor. Additional illustrations by Tim Haggerty. You live on planet Earth, one of the 8 planets that move around the sun. Scientists think that Earth is the only planet with anything living on it. All about Earth. Things can live on Earth because it has the right mixture of heat, air, and water. The sun keeps the planet warm. Living things, such as people, animals, and plants, all need air to breathe. Over half of the earth is covered in water. All living things need water to stay alive. The middle of the planet is called the core. It is very, very hot here. Around the core is the mantle. The rocks here are so hot that they are slightly squishy. The mantle is covered in a thin layer of solid rock called the crust. Moving Earth. The Earth's crust is made up of pieces. The pieces of crust lock together around the Earth. Very, very slowly, the pieces of crust move around. The place where the pieces slide past each other is called a fault. Pieces of crust can move smoothly along a fault, but sometimes they get jammed. Jammed pieces can suddenly start to slip past one another. The land above trembles and cracks. This is called an earthquake. Big earthquakes can destroy buildings and tear up roads. There are even earthquakes on the moon. These are called moonquakes. Mountain high. As the crust moves, it slowly pushes some of the land up into tall, rocky mountains. The mountains in this picture are the Alps in Europe. It took millions of years for them to get this tall. Some mountains, such as the Himalayas, are growing taller every year. Mountain peaks stay snowy because the air is cold up high. So mountain goats need thick coats to keep them warm when they're up there, see? Volcanoes. Hot rock from the mantle can creep up through the cracks in the crust and escape into the land as a volcano. This is a volcano erupting. The hot rocks that escape is called lava. Some people in Hawaii think that the goddess of fire lives in a volcano. Volcanoes erupt in different ways. Violent eruptions fling ash and gas high into the sky. Sometimes volcanoes throw out lumps of hot, sticky lava. Some volcanoes spray runny lava from a long crack in the ground. Rock around the world. All the land on Earth is made of rock. There are 3 main types of rock. Metamorphic rock has been cooked deep in the Earth's crust where it is very hot. Igneous rock forms when lava from a volcano cools in the air and turns hard. Jewels such as diamonds, rubies, and emeralds are found inside rocks. Sedimentary rock is made from layers of mud or sand pressed together. The different layers in this rock make it look striped. Running rivers. When it rains or snows on the mountains, the hard rock cannot soak up the water. Water trickles down from the high ground in a small stream. Lots of streams join together to make a big river. The river flows downhill all the way to the sea. A fast-flowing river picks up lots of stone and pebbles from the riverbed. When the river slows down, it drops the heavier stone but still carries small pebbles. As the river gets near the sea, it slows down so much that it drops almost everything. The Nile in Africa is the longest river in the world. It is so big, it can even be seen from space. Look at that. Wearing away, rivers change the shape of land as they flow over it. A river flows over the land, picking up stones and soil from the ground. The stones bump along the riverbed, wearing away a groove in the land. Over many years, the river carves a valley into the ground below. This is the Grand Canyon in the USA. It took millions of years for the river to wear away this deep gorge. Check that out. So beautiful. Underground caves. Not all rivers flow over the land. Some flow under it. Rivers that flow underground can wear away the rocks to make caves. Stalactites hang from the roofs of caves. Stalagmites grow up from the floor below. Stalactites and stalagmites are built up over thousands of years from tiny grains of rock carried into the cave by dripping water. Some caves have paintings on the walls that were made thousands of years ago. Cold as ice. Some of the Earth's water stays frozen as ice for most of the year. Antarctica is the coldest place in the world. The land is covered with snow and icebergs float in the sea. Number 1. Ice spreads from the land and floats on the sea. Number 2. The sea moves up and down, causing the ice to crack. Number 3. The crack gets bigger until a block of ice breaks. Number 4, the block floats away in the sea as an iceberg. In Antarctica, it gets so cold in winter that even the sea freezes over. Coast. The coast is where the land meets the sea. Sand is made up from broken up shells and rocks. The sea grinds the pieces into tiny grains, then washes them ashore. Waves crash against the sides of a cliff, wearing the rock away into an arch. The top of the arch falls into the water, leaving a stack standing in the sea. This is a stack. Some beaches have black sand made from volcanic rock. Deep water. Oceans and seas cover more than half of the earth. Many different things live there. Lots of creatures live near the surface where it is light and the water is warm. Deeper down, it is darker and colder. Fewer things can live here. Sperm whales dive deep down looking for squid to eat. Scientists use submarines like this one to dive deep into the sea and explore the ocean floor. Some deep sea fish glow in the dark to attract small fish, then they eat them. Dusty deserts. Deserts are the driest places on Earth. Very little rain falls and the land is dry and dusty. The Sahara Desert in Africa is one of the biggest deserts in the world. Desert animals stay underground during the hot days and come out at night to find food. Number 1, even in the desert, water is trapped in rocks underground. Number 2, over a long time, the water builds up and forms a pool. Number 3, plants grow near the pool. This is called an oasis. Number 4, people who travel across deserts often stop at an oasis. Extraordinary Earth. Planet Earth is an amazing place. Greenland is the largest island in the world. Angel Falls in Venezuela is the world's tallest waterfall. Some parts of the Atacama Desert in Chile went without rain for 400 years. Mount Everest is the highest place in the world. The deepest part of the Marianas Trench is about 11,000 meters, or 36,089 feet underwater. Antarctica is the coldest place on Earth. It once reached negative 89 degrees Celsius, or negative 128 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, so here is a glossary of Earth words, but that's it. That's the end of our book, Planet Earth.